All right. So, along my journey, as all of us targets are learning what's happening to us, why is this going on? I keep going back to thinking, like, how do people believe this is a phenomenon when it's happening? It's not a phenomenon. This isn't some miracle. It's happening to us. And this is what it is. And this is the scary part that it's going on all over the world and it's growing because it's all organized chaos. And it's been infected into every organization that would allow such dumbfuckery to penetrate its walls. So, if your neighborhood organization wouldn't target one of your neighbors like that, and if you heard something about him, you'd go and shake his hand and ask him, hey, what's going on as a man? You don't have no clue that this shit goes on at all. You still thinking people like I did. A man was his worth. I didn't wrong you in any way. Why are you coming at me wrong? That's what I want to solve. I want to know why you're treating me in a way I know, according to God's law, is wrong. Again, now I say it every time. People have their heads up their ass trying to fight each other for stupid reasons. The creator of man, God, Most High, told his story through man at different time periods, throughout the ages, through today. I'm no Jesus Christ. I'm nobody to be praised. I'm no saint by any means. But I do have a message of God. And that's simply to be good people. We need to stop fighting one another, finding reasons to hate on each other, and covering up manipulation and bullshit. Everybody just needs to be transparent. And that is impossible for mankind. What's happened to every one of us that's a target, I'll tell you right now. I think I've cracked it. I think I actually have cracked it. All of us at one time had a tolerance for dumbfuckery, games, narco bullshit. Yeah, they were playing a game, but it was just so that they can get an extra one or whatever. And it's not too big of a deal, you know. You planned on having some extras anyway in case one broke, so it's not. You overlook things like that. And as good people, I used to say it a lot. Oh yeah, you can trust them. They're good people. They're good people. I had a lot of good people in my life, and they found other good people, and I just hadn't found my good person. So not like there was a dispute or like I screwed them over like a narco fight, and I just screwed them over and then hid in the shadows like they do to you. It was just I stopped coming around one weekend, and I knew I was in the way. Like I felt like a third wheel, and they didn't call me and say, "Hey, where were you, man? We missed you." So I just kind of ease my way away, off. I had to because they were growing. I'm not going to be that third wheel. I didn't want to break up their relationship or have them miss an opportunity for a good life. They found their perfect, they found their partner. Far be it from me to stand in the way. I hadn't found mine. I hadn't found somebody to be real with me. It's still like, holy crap. Because as you get older, the good ones find the good ones. And the shitty ones find the shitty ones. And as you're a good one that's still single, you are fresh meat. You know, as time went on, the more and more I would overlook and be taken advantage of. And then it's like, well, I should have. Okay, with me, I was too harsh. And then you back off completely. And it's like, whoa, then you really get taken advantage of. So you throw your foot down. It's like, whoa, now you're not getting anywhere. It's just a catastrophic nightmare. That's on the life, relationship side of it. The reason we were destined, or since birth said, or whatever, chosen, is nothing more than we're not criminals. We're not the bad guys doing bad things. It's quite the opposite. We are people of God. We'll follow God's laws. I'm not going to say I'm a saint in any way, and I broke a lot of man-made statutes in my day. Ordinances or whatever the heck it was. They said I couldn't, whatever the heck. That's man's rules. But I never took another life. I never did anything that was uncalled for. That wasn't necessary. And I think that's where God stands. I'm not going and taking somebody else's land. I'm not pushing somebody else out of their home or anything like that. I'm just trying to build my own, trying to have my own, trying to be left alone. Really, honestly, that's ultimately. What do you want out of all this shit, or what do you want us to do? It's like, fuck, man. What I want to do is just be left alone. Here's the problem: gang stalking, the phenomenon of gang stalking. I've cracked it. I know who they are. They are. You ready for this? Every narcissistic piece of shit group you can imagine that has entitlement issues or anything like that, where they use manipulation techniques that are known to man by some organizations being exposed. Those are the ones that everyone keeps talking about and eyeballing, saying, oh, it's the Masons doing this, or it's just another story. Just like the stories that men were telling about God. Some were telling the stories that were godly. No matter what religion you were, first off, this is the United States, where we were supposed to be here. One nation under God, indivisible. However you got to God, we were still undividable. Didn't matter what religion, what stories you listened to, what book you read. Same message. Why the fuck are we hating each other? Your man said that you need to do good things and be good people and help grow and nourish and expand your minds and learn and, okay. And yours said the same principle, same thing, same story, same end result. It's just it was Jill and Bob instead of Mike and Sam. Oh, whoa, okay. Well, that guy's a liar then. Nah, because it was Jill and Sam. It's not Bob and Jill. No way. No way. I know it was these guys. It wasn't them. Your guy's a liar. Like, what are we, fucking stupid? Like, as human beings, man. Like, really, just everyone's got to find a reason to hate on each other so much. And that's what it is. Every one of us that are targets, we finally snapped. We were being played. We had all these little dating world and people that are out there that know each other are little schemers. They know they're bullshitting you. They know they're using you for whatever, your car, whatever they can get out of you. They all understand that they are and help each other to do that. They'll cover for each other too. Oh, did you get something else out of him? Did you get something else out of him? And at first you don't see it happening. You think they're good people. They're friends, just like anybody else. That's the problem, is they go after good people. The actual diabolical people that use gang stalking as a weapon, that's what you're against. But there are gang stalkers amongst everybody. And people participate in gang stalking, they don't understand that they are. And it's as far as the power of manipulation, and now that goes as far as your fingertips, that everybody has not only a computer in their hands, but a super brain. Deep fakes and all the rest of it you can do. You can make somebody look like a piece of shit by revealing something that you found out. That's what happened. All of us. We pissed off the wrong narco. And in order to cover up their bullshit, they had to make you look crazy. It's simple. It's the simplest thing. And when you go to another one, especially a friend or family member, you're going to find that at first you're freaking out. You're not acting inside a character. You're not acting like yourself, and you're going to approach them like, hey, help me. This is what's going on. They're going to be like, whoa, what's wrong here? Something's changed about you. Your whole environment, the whole everything, your energy's changed. Like, what's going on? Something has happened to you because I know who you are. They're going to hear, oh, yeah, drugs, or they're going to hear, oh, he's drinking a lot, or he's been going out gambling, or whatever it is that you're doing to kind of keep your peace of mind, that you're biting into, especially if you're biting into something that is on the side of temptation. I didn't realize that until I'm saying it now. It's like myself, Catholic, raised with Christian stories, Jesus Christ. It's like, that's, things that come full circle in my day as someone that's targeted isn't because it's directed at me. And that's the first thing I hope everybody takes from this that's listening. It really feels like you're being targeted because you're getting hit so many different fucking ways. And you're like, damn, they switched it up again. Damn, they switched it up again. Damn, they switched it up again. Okay, here's the secret. There's just a bunch of shitheads in this world. There's a bunch of people that lie, manipulate, deceive, and bullshit each other. That's how they get by. That's how they succeed. When you are a threat to one of them and you call them out on exactly what their game is, it is not a phenomena, not some psychological paradox that we don't have any explanation for. What they are going to do is they're going to find someone else that they know that also pulls their same bullshit that they've witnessed while they were working. While they were pulling that con on that one, or they were getting that lady to believe it and buying them lunch, or whatever the fuck they were doing, they saw you doing it too, and they recognize each other. They can recognize each other, liars, manipulators, cons. Just like good people, I can recognize before I recognize good people. Good people don't see me that way no more. Not because I'm a bad person, but because the stress and anxiety of dealing with all of this demonic shit takes every little bit of energy you have. And they're bleeding you of your energy. And then if you use a drug to overcome the pain that you already have and all the other bullshit, ADD and all the rest of it, bring you peace of mind, then they're going to toxify that and make it the bad guy. And if you have a narcissistic family, especially, this is the key, is narcissistic people stick to their guns. And they won't bend or back down. When they recognize another one is playing a game on you, they've already betrayed you because they've already treated you the same way as that person did, and now you're devastated that person is doing it to you. But if they say, that's wrong, Jim can't do that to you, well, then that's like saying, I'm wrong and I screwed you over. And they won't do it. That is the anomaly. So there are a bunch of gangs of people participating in gang stalking. You have the people that want to enforce the laws, and they go and join the gang, sign up at the force, go through their cadet training. If you want to be ICE, it's 47 days. You can be a full-fledged member of that gang. They don't even rank you in that much over there. It's like, shoot, you don't even got to prove anything. Shoot, you can be fucking one of them, no problem. No problem. I got to prove is that you have hate in your heart and you have a willingness to kill and the ability to not be able to judge how to use a firearm and when to take a life. As long as you're nervous Nancy and you think Nancy over there in the fucking SUV is going to murder you somehow while she's backing up, then you're welcome to join in. Yeah, we have the sign-ups now. I think they're actually still hiring, even though they're not funded right now. Everything's happening in front of everybody's eyes, and all of us that are targeted, they're keeping you in the same narco bubble of the relationship or whatever it was that was abusing you when you called it out. So they were telling you, you're a loser, you need to do more, you're not making enough money, you need a better job, you need this, you need that, and you're thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to measure up? If I'm not making the cut, I need to measure up. Truth is, you were already above the cut. You were already doing way more than you should, and they were doing nothing. And eventually you caught on to that, and you said, hey, wait a minute now. I'm putting in all the work, I'm doing this, and in fact, not only are you not helping me, but you fucking sabotaged that one. It's like the shenanigans, little fun games, just stab you back, whatever the fuck. It's like, that one really stabbed me and fucked me over. And while you did that, and I'm over there in the jail cell, you're all fucking off my shit like I deserve it. I'm like, huh. When they finally realize that you're not tolerant of their bullshit anymore, that they've revealed themselves so much to you that you know the game, they will go and get their other friends that play the game to fuck with you. And they will. And this is here the anomaly, is that we are built a society on approving gangs that stalk. We have 24-hour crime watch centers. That is a gang of law enforcement officers who hang out in a crime watch center that they survey crime 24/7. Gang stalker center? Anyone? We don't call it what it is. We put a nice little label on it and we say, well, but they're the good guys. It's okay that they share that license plate data with the world. They're good guys. It's like, are they really good guys? Are they doing good things by doing that? Are they giving it to horrible people that want to fuck you over out of your life? Yep. So here's the big one. You've been dealing with this all your life. They've been coming at you all your life. When you saw that shit in the playground when you were a kid, or whatever, and you called him out and you say, hey, Jimmy is not stinky. Sally, Jimmy's a good guy. He actually, yeah, Billy just doesn't want you dating Jimmy, so he's calling him Stinky Jimmy. We were straight up about whatever the situation was. And we didn't deceive, we didn't play along with the games, whatever it was, and we got hated for it. Now we were also the Stinky Jimmys. Now we're Stinky Jimmy's friends. You know, whatever it was because we were good. I might have broke the rules when they said don't take 5 minutes extra recess or some shit like that, but it's like, well, who's I hurting? Who's my victim? There's no victim there. I might have broke a rule or a statute or broke a policy or some shit, but if anybody, I hurt myself. I wasn't hurting nobody else. That's God's law. Every target out there feels that way. And that's what they bank on. Now I would handle my business. And at one point I was not fucked with because people knew there would be consequences, and when my word was my word, and there would be consequences. And the way they dismantle that is by ganging up on you. When they know you're catching on to the game and they know you're going to blow them out, they're already all using you and everybody's there using you. Sometimes just a couple people are using you if it's a small gang. The jig is up. They have to cancel you. That killing you is a mess. Plus it tapes back and then people can tie it together and they might have talked to you on the phone and all that other bullshit they have to worry about. So they'd much rather you just kill yourself. And what better way than completely destroying a person that is honest and true by spreading lies and bullshit and rumors and all the stuff that you denounced, everything that you were like, this is what's wrong with society, this is what's the worst that needs to be fixed, we need to work on this stuff. They're taking note of all that shit while you're saying it. And then that's what they're spreading about you, that you're that piece of shit, that you're the one this society needs to fix. Like you were saying, yeah, anyone who's like doing like this shit, fentanyl, I really hope from them to each your own. You're doing that drug, but it is something that is taking over our society, and people are getting zombified because Dr. Cracknuts is prescribing it, but he can't give a prescription for cocaine and meth. That's like, that's what they were doing to get off the fentanyl or to stay awake while they were on the fentanyl. That was their Adderall, but they didn't want to lose their high, or their Narcan, but they didn't want to lose the high. We have Adderall. We have to add it to antipsychosis drugs so that they can label it as psychosis, psychoactive, whatever the hell, so that when you start paying attention and you start seeing all this shit, because you will, right now everyone's just asleep, as they say, that drug is the enemy of the corporation. It is the enemy of the business that keeps you enslaved, working every day, working your ass off every day, and then you're using that drug in order to get to your third job, or you're doing it because you're asked so much of you that as a man, you can't do that no more. And then you're demonized by the out that you found when you sacrifice your own health to do it. You sacrifice your own time to do it. You're the only one that pays any consequences. You're the one that has to go through sleep deprivation those days and nights, and you're the one that is cloudy in your mind when you haven't gotten any adequate rest, but that's got to happen. Whether you're going to do it on Red Bulls or whatever the hell you're going to do, it's got to happen, because if it doesn't, your life ends. And that is the idea of a slave. If I don't do this, if I don't work that third job, make that shift, I can't pay the rent. I'm out on the street. I'm homeless. And that is the threat that they keep you on. So you turn to something that most men don't have to do, that they can judge you on, to get you through those times. And God forbid one of them find out about it, because then that is the reason everything is going wrong in your life. When it's like, no, the reason shit's going wrong in my life is because there's a bunch of liars and bullshitters who are all fucking up all my opportunities. So a job I used to get here, or a for sure deal, like they call me right away. That's an easy $500. Now I got to beg for it, and they're like, no, now they're begging for it. They don't trust you no more, and it's like, it's catastrophic, because some of it you'll self-destruct, trying to make sense of how your life is destructing, because you're not doing any of it. It's being done for you in the background by selective groups of gangstalkers. They hide because there are a lot of different groups that gangstalk. They're not all out to discredit you, ruin your life, and take away your freedom. No. Those ones are in particular ones that are still operating independently of one another, oddly enough. Picture it this way. Like I just said, if you wrong someone in the same way someone else wrongs them, and they can call out that bullshit. Wouldn't you work collectively to shut that down? That works in every aspect of our lives, including businesses and stuff. Like if you have a laundromat and you and three other guys have all the laundromats in the city, and this guy comes in wanting to buy some washing machines and think he's going to go right in the middle of town, you can shut that fucker down. You can lower your rates. You can take whatever you got to do, take hits, whatever you got to do. So there's no way that he's going to make it. That's gangstalking. You're watching his every move, controlling his income, controlling his business, controlling people coming in and out of his life, and you're controlling the outcome of his destiny because he's competition and he didn't come in with you guys on his side. Now he comes in and he's like, hey guys, what's going on? You want to go to the golf course, have some drinks? Yeah, this one's on me. Like, hey, this guy's cool. He's a good guy. And he comes in and you're like, hey, you thinking about owning washing machines? Here, let me give you the supplier, man. We'll have you. And bam, you're in. That's the way the world works. It's like if you're kissing the ass of the demon, then they let you have a little bit of the honeypot. And it's like, that's not the way it should be. It says we should be free. We shouldn't be begging for a piece of the honeypot. We should be able to create our own pot. No, and you're crazy for thinking that there's rules to follow. There's rules to follow since you're born. You got to do what you got to do. And if you are doing something wrong against those rules that man set forth on you, then you deserve to be targeted. You must be doing something bad if this is going on. I'm like, what the fuck? How do you get to that logic? Well, if they're after you like this and there's this much going on, then obviously you're doing something wrong, so I don't want to be a part of it. Either that or they're like, there's no way that that's going on, dude. That's like the sixth time you told me that this week. No fucking way. That would happen to somebody like that. You got to be out of your mind. You're seeing things. Sure, that goes on here and there, whatever. That guy. I hear it too. But they're not targeting you, dude. They just got to put everything pain in the ass. Whatever. Now the punk kids were just getting out of school, blowing off some steam. They went to the fucking ball game or something. They lost that day. They're all revving their engines out. That's all it was. And they can dismiss it individually every time. As a target, you won't dismiss it. And there are certain groups within the groups of gangstalkers that participate in all the groups. They're the mitotes, they're the fucking gossips, they're the payasos and clowns. They're the ones who put on the show and the drama, and they get this one thinking that one and that one, and they get them talking to each other and all the rest of it. The problem that every target has out there is that we are the common threat to bullshit. That's it. So anyone that is bullshit, participates in bullshit, or likes to bring up dumbfuckery or create dumbfuckery, all of them are one gang. They're all of them coming from the same hive. They're following the same rule, and that I'm not sure who it is, but it is a demonic son of a bitch up at the top. It's one of the 1% of the 1%, the ones that control the wealth of the nation, the ones that can control society so much that they want to change the Constitution or something like that. And that would never happen, of course. They only got like 34 states on their side, and they need like 38 now, you know. I'm sure they would never like mass gang stalk like people that would tell the truth and stuff in those states that are on the fence or nothing like that. No, that's me thinking of logic and reason. Let's go back to all the dumb fuckery in my life and let me explain that real quick. I think that's what we all have in common. My grandmother came from Germany. My great-grandparents were in a place of tyranny and wanted a chance to have children and live in a free environment where you're not ruled and every man can have his own destiny. You weren't destined to be what you were going to be and all these dreams and everything else. And here we are 2 generations and my parents forgot about it. It's like they already forgot the sacrifices their parents made. And they won't make any sacrifices for their family now. Oh, they got theirs. They can have me on them. Sorry. You made your own mess there. If you want, after you lose everything, you can come and you'll stay at one of my properties and I can watch you and put my thumb over you and control you there. It's like, oh, can't you rent that property out? Just have me with some cash? Or can't you do something else like that? Why does it got to be that I got to lose everything and end up over there? And it's because they're punishing me. Because obviously, if I'm doing something crazy wrong, if I'm keep on thinking this, or I'm involved in something crazy, and I was like, that's just it. That's what gets me. Is like, I stop doing everything. I'm like, oh, but that makes me crazier. The ADD especially. I walk around in circles and I get very little accomplished when I don't have drugs. I get a lot accomplished. I get a lot started. I come up with some brilliant ideas. I start some crazy awesome stuff. And then oddly enough, more recently, especially since being targeted, like these ideas that I have and these things that I do just around the house to like make do and having nothing, or to be resilient and create something out of nothing, they end up showing up like on the market or on the TV, or like, I mean, that day sometimes, or later on that day. It's like they're already in my head. Because these are not things that are, I saw it on TV and something suggested it. I didn't keep, my TV stayed off for over a year. My dog freaked out the first time I turned the TV on. He thought I trapped people in there. So I know. And people are like, I couldn't live without technology for a year. That's just that's preposterous. Like, that's heaven, man. Like, it was hell because people were fucking with me all over the place, and all these groups were spreading amongst the neighborhood watch and neighbor who's and all that, talking shit about me that I didn't have any clue what's going on. I'm minding my own business, doing my own thing. I'm just trying to get my life back together after kicking all these people that were using me out, and did not understand the smear campaign that was going to follow, nor how the gang of them would join another gang of them, would join another gang of them, would join another gang of them, and how collectively I'd be pulled from everyone's direction, and they find it hilarious. And at any given time, if you bust a person gang stalking you, that's just a little nothing of nothing. They're going to deny it, and they're actually going to be right in a way that you won't be able to prove, because you're being gang stalked by like 8 to maybe 20 organizations at one time. You don't have a clue, and they don't have a clue most of the time. The police know what's up. They know what's up. They're not stupid. They have to be as smart as me, and they're on that side. So I guess, yeah, that they know. Again, if I was there, I'd be like, what's going on? What are you guys doing? I catch on to it right away, and I would be gang stalked. I would blow the whistle on the whole thing. I'd be like, you guys can't do that. That's violating the rights. You have constitutional, no, you guys, that's a violation of their civil liberties. That's where I'd be. So I would be targeted and kicked out. That's why I say there's no good cops. They're all pigs. Because good officers, if you did manage to survive that, and you can manage to still walk the line of justice in the middle of all that dumbfuckery, all that corruption, all those people blowing DWI cases to get kickbacks, and that's just one attorney that was found in my city, and it's like a huge deal. And every single cop involved, guilty. Take the attendance. Guilty. No, none of them want to stand up for themselves. None of them want to even go to trial. None of them want to bring up any evidence of what was found, because it's going to lead to the whole fucking place being fucking flat upside down. That's all it is. You know, they have to take one for the team. They got busted. As long as they don't take out everybody else, they're just going to take the hit. They work as a gang. They're solid. And by doing that, when they do go to jail, there'll be privileges given to them. You know, they'll have access to better cells, and they'll get better treatment from the commissary. They'll get better access to library books, whatever they need. They might be able to walk outside with an umbrella in the park, you know, that kind of shit. They'll be there, but they're not doing the same time like you and I would do. That's for damn fucking sure. You know? And they're just doing it that way the rest of the gang doesn't get bellied up. So that's the secret. So when they hear you come and you're reporting of an agency who's like them, whose job it would be, then maybe you're accusing anyway, to investigate people that they believe might be committing crime, and they need to watch them from a place at the top of the hill up here that watches over everywhere in the city 24 hours a day, and implement sometimes a drone program that our National Guard was actually taking over for them, because it was a little bit too much for them to handle at one time. Spying on everyone with drones and fighting crime. I mean, and I'm screaming about this the whole time. All of this is going on. I'm like, what? You guys not paying attention? Like, there's a grid of drones above the United States right now. I just came from California, and they were all up everywhere. Nobody looks up anymore. Like, nobody realizes, hey, there's more stars than there used to be. Hey, that star has a red and a green line, a red and you know. How do people not look? And then our solution, is you have attention deficit disorder because you're paying attention to too much. What we need to do is get you on some medication so we can shut off all those red alerts and alarms that your body's naturally like trying to fire off there and get you worried about a real and present danger and shut those ones off. Don't worry, we got the neuroscience to do it. We've been fucking with more people just like you to figure out how to do it. So it shouldn't be too bad. If we get it wrong, it's okay. We just practicing. That's what we do. We practice medicine. Won't be a problem. But we're going to try that on you, experiment on you, because we're good guys, legal ones. I'll scribble on that little paper, no problem. We'll make it right. And the thing you better not do is go and find that other drug that brings you peace of mind, that wakes you up and gives you energy when the time we're trying to bring you down, hit you with fucking sound waves that are going to make you fucking tired, try and make you drowned out in all the preservatives and everything else that you're eating, and try and make you a slave into our system. Now, you're going to go for that drug that wakes you up and helps you persevere through that shit so that you can actually live through that hell and still be able to pay a bill and blend in with the rest of the people as if though you are one of the working class good guys. When the reality is you're just overworked, tired as fuck, underpaid, underappreciated, and you're working your body to the fucking end. You're sacrificing something to get that extra time, and they're looking at you like you're the fucking bad guy. While they sit on their fucking little yacht boats and whatever the fuck. Even the big drug dealers are doing this shit. They're gangstalking too. Because they're going back and they're making the fat stacks of cash because we have to get our drugs from them. If I want my medicine, I can't just go and get it from the pharmacist. Why is that? Oh, because 60 years ago, Dr. Cracknut said it was toxic not to touch it. He also said that about cocaine. He also said that about marijuana. But opiates, no, that was cool. They just had to put it in pill form. So he was all right with you taking drugs to make you go to sleep that he was providing. But drugs that helped you wake up and push through the pain instead of just lay down and do nothing. Oh no, you got to heal. You got to heal right. Like, so, okay, where's the savings account to do that? How am I going to go without money for, there's a nest egg or there's nothing like that. So you're forced into a situation where you can sit on the couch on Dr. Cracknut's pills and fall asleep if you want, but you're going to lose everything. You're not going to be able to make your life. Or you can overcome. Take a substance that's going to make you sacrifice your time. You're going to lose out. You're going to be exhausted. You are. But it will allow you to overcome that obstacle, get your ass to work. Even though you're not going to heal right, you're still going to get healed and you're still going to be able to survive. And that's where they keep you, is in survival mode. And they use the system to leverage that. And they use the criminal charges and the probation and all the other shit that they do to monitor your ass and make sure that you're falling in line with what they need you to fall in line with to be a good slave. That's all it is. Anyone says otherwise is full of shit. That's all they're doing. They're protecting their money. That's what every gang would do, right? This is just a big gang. This is like a worldwide gang. This is the gang of the 1% of the 1% that's really running this shit. Because if they weren't running this shit, then they would be fighting that shit. And they're not fighting that shit. Only because just like every other narco, it doesn't help you. Every one of them that turns on you and has to just cut contact with you, they're cowards. And they do the same shit, and they've hurt you the same ways. You called them out on their bullshit. The moment you called someone else out on their bullshit, and you thought they were good people because they took your side, that's kind of. They didn't ever say, you're right, Jim is a bad guy. What they did say is, I can see why you would think that. I make these narco statements to you that now are like red flags, like boom, 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 flying up like crazy. You hear somebody in the background say that, and you're like, oh, liar. We got another one on the hook here. Boom, here we go. Because you're already prepared for it. You already know their little drop statements, the little shit they say to dodge and divert. You already know the angles they play to make you look crazy. You already know how they're saying shit without saying shit, or how they're not saying shit without saying shit. You know what I mean. If you're a target, you know what I mean, because that's why you're a target. You're a target because you can spot them. And they can spot you. The same way they spot each other. That's why you're a target. Because you're somebody that can see them. So they know you can see them. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they think they're like on a different realm. They think they're like leveled up above people. They do. Narco fucks think that they're gods. They think that they are the ones running their show because they are manifestors and they do create and they do leave a path of destruction in their background because they're stealing it from people and they're conning people out of it. They're not creators. They're thieves. And like, just because you come into my empire and walk away with it doesn't mean that you earned that you even know what it is to value that or appreciate that. You don't even know what it is. I can go tell you where it came from. Like, I can tell you its origin, what it was built from, who the people that created it, where they come from, all kinds of different shit that I just randomly remember. And that's also why I believe we're targets. They bank on people forgetting. They get over it. They'll hurt you today, but they're going to make you do what they wanted you to do anyway, and that's the way they know how to do it. So they're helping you. They're not fucking you up. They're just making sure that you lose so that they can help you do it their way, which they know is right. So they're not doing anything wrong by watching you lose. Yeah, that's the logic. No joke. That is the logic. So they're like, well, yeah, he's getting his ass kicked, but he got in a little trouble, whatever. And after he gets his ass kicked, he's gonna have to do it my way anyway. And they just watch you get your ass kicked. They don't say, hey, whoa, 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 hey, don't let him kick your ass, man. You don't deserve that shit. Stand up now. Stand up for yourself now. Like, no, I'll go with you. Let's go. Who the fuck are these people? Let's go right now. Everyone's just like, oh, so you think that they're against you, huh? What makes you think that? They're all like inquisitive or something, like they're asking questions like they want to know. It's like, no, they're just narco fishing. What they're doing is they're dropping you on your head. So you're like, oh, where the fuck? What the fuck? And you're dizzy seeing the stars and everything. And then you're like, what did I do? What did I do? Did I swing left? Did I know? I had that covered to go right. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I do? Like, how did I end up on the fucking? How did I looking at all these little Tweety birds here? And you'll come up with excuses as to what happened because obviously your guard was down. You got hit. The little Tweety birds, they weren't they weren't imaginary. They were like your retinas are scanning the little fragments of light that are coming back into your mind, into your sight. That's all it is. You got knocked the fuck out. But they won't at all recognize the hit. And when you get up and you're furious, like, what the fuck? You were supposed to watch me. Like, what? You were supposed to have my back. Like, where the fuck did that come from? And you don't even think it's them. You're like, you were supposed, who did that? Like, who did that? You're still on my side. Who did that? They'll play it. They'll play that card. I don't know, man. I don't know. I tried to stop it. I didn't know. You get mad. What the hell were you doing? You were supposed to watch. You were supposed to be there. You were not going to look anywhere else. And what the fuck? What the fuck? And they'll let you blame whatever. You'll be like, it was Brian. It was Brian that did that. Oh, man, I knew you told me you should watch him. And they're just watching you as you're coming up with all this bullshit that's going to make you look crazy, that's going to stir up a lot of drama that they're not going to create or be responsible for. And they could just watch the show. It's fucking demonic. It is evil. It's not entertainment of any sort for the person that's being manipulated, targeted, and deceived. And then you go through a cycle of that shit. And eventually, after cycle and cycle and cycle and cycle, you're like, they say, hey, and you say, I know the way that you say hey. It's not like, hey. It's not, hey, Like, they can say almost anything, and it's a trigger. They're not saying you're crazy because you're just doing stuff that's just out of this world, out of nowhere. This stuff is strategically planted in us over time. Cycle of abuse after cycle of abuse, hit after hit after hit after hit, that we learn to cope with it. We learn to manage the narcissistic nightmares because there's no laws to protect us. And if we think about hurting them, even just thinking about hurting them, it's against the law. Now, those people that hurt people like that could then convict you of those kind of thoughts, wouldn't use technology to log into your thought process and manipulate that in a way that would prevent you from being credited or speaking out on that subject. No. It's definitely not coming from someone like that. There's no one like that. No one would want to stop you like that, man. Or, if you actually pay attention to the fact that that guy just got let out and he's getting probation with 6,000 fentanyl bills, and I got busted with a line, you want to put me in jail for a year? Because I was exhausted. I need something to get through my day tomorrow because I'm not going to get enough sleep and I still have to get through my day tomorrow. I'm going to lose a year of my life. And that guy who's passing poison to everybody, that has him zombified on the street, he's going to get a year of probation. Right, this is our system. I fought it. I beat it. But then, of course, then you're charged again. Dumbfuckery after dumbfuckery. Like the day or the week of, it's not the day of, me fighting a charge and beating it, calling it bullshit. They didn't have the rights. They didn't have the access. They couldn't do that. It was set up. Whatever it was, it's every single time. That's like I should know. I should know leaving the courthouse. I'm like, should be on full guard. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen? But now if I do that, they're like, what are you paranoid about, man? They just dropped the charges. What are you paranoid about? And it's like, whoop, 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 whoop. You know, I pulled you over, son. Like, whatever you're gonna make up, really. I've got a ticket for improper display of my registration when it was expired. The fucker didn't even run it. Like, So really, that plate cover was a problem because you weren't able to see the plate and run it. And you're going to write me a warning for the plate cover obstructing the plate that you're not going to run. Okay, pig. You're just coming up with whatever. You weren't wearing a seatbelt. Yeah, I was. Dash cam's right there. Show you I was wearing a seatbelt, and they'll still give me the warning. They just ignore you. They're like, well, sign right here. You don't agree with it? You can take it to court. It's like, yeah, you're going to turn that warning in. Okay, whatever, dude. That's all they're doing. Just controlling you, manipulating you. They're a gang. And when you go to court that first time and you're like, whoa, they didn't have the right to do this. They violated this. They did this. They were supposed to do this. And then they're like, oh, fuck. This bad guy knows who we are. And they will gang stalk your ass. They don't want anyone else to figure out who they are. And then fucking they put you in jail and you start talking to everybody. Fuck. I know. They don't want you in jail for a different reason. They don't want you in jail because you're right. And they don't want you in jail because you can point it out to everybody that's not even seeing it right in front of them. I can be like, hey, look, hey, let me relate to you real quick on the way you talk. I've always been a people person. I know how to tell stories. I know how to use metaphors. I know how to use what a person's into himself. I can read people. We all can. All of us targets. This is why we're targeted, because we're like them. So we can read a person right away, just like them. We can see what anyone's up to pretty damn quick. We used to have a tolerance of it, and we used to let a lot of dumbfuckery go. And eventually that fuse wears so fucking thin, you don't put up with anymore. And then that's when you get hurt. That's when you start getting really fucked with, because instead of just putting up with that dumbfuckery and letting it go because it's not affecting you, and you don't want to be off. By the time you try and prove it, you only have 16 ways to prove it. You don't have that 17th one. And you know they're going to be like, well, that's what they said over here. Oh, you are the one that said to go there. Well, you're the one that told me to leave. They're going to throw it back at you, throw it back at you, throw it back at you. So you don't even fuck with it normally. You would just let it go. Well, there comes a time when it's like 17, 18, 9. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, this, what you're doing is fucked up. I'm not fucking dealing with it no more. You're trying to pull an angle on me. Every which way you pull, you already pulled it 6 different times. You're saying those words. I know what you're doing. I can finish your sentences. And they know it. And they know if anybody else knows it. Jig is up for them. Their easy street, the way that they've been getting their shit out of people, the way they've been conning and manipulating people to believe they're the good guys and putting bad guys in jail when they're letting the bad guys go and get some kickbacks, and they're putting the good guys that don't know how to fight any better and can't afford an attorney in jail. So the outside is having good guys go to jail that would be good people, good men, good members of society, simply because they were trying to get through their fucking day. And the guy who's over there fucking passing off fentanyl is out on probation when unsupervised. The cop ain't gonna fucking make him do his piss test. And the guy's fucking poisoning everybody in exchange for ratting on some guy who's a good guy, who wouldn't know any better, and who called them out on their shit. And once you call them out, they'll dump on you. So everything that goes bad in their life was your fault. Well, that's what I was having to do with over there. I didn't know. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You didn't do shit. You were catering to them. You were hooking them up. You were helping them out. You were going beyond what anyone would do. Even they were like, really? You're going to do that for me? Like, are you all right? All right, sucker. You thought it like, all right, you're really making my day. But it was, all right, sucker. That's what it was. Because that's who you were. You genuinely want other people's lives to be better. Even those that are hurting you right now, you're trying to convince them because they're doing something that's fucked up. Even if they're doing it for a wrong reason. It's like, dude, okay, you're doing it because you heard something on the neighborhood watch, or you're doing it because I turned up on the hot sheets because I missed a car payment. Now it's all of a sudden people are talking about me not paying my bills and everyone's looking at me for the repo man. All these different gangs, when you're gang stalked by the diabolical 1% of the 1%, the ones that control the hive, they know that they have a bunch of little liars out there that are independent gangs that operate completely independent. They all do the same exact thing. They operate the same exact way. They have the same exact protocol. They answer the same exact way. They have the same exact pyramid, but ironically enough, it's like in their blood because they don't ever talk to each other. The cops aren't going and saying, "Hey, all right, you over here in this gang, are you willing to work with us?" No, they don't. But they know if they call out the gang on that bullshit, they call themselves out too. So they'll just let it go. That's the key to getting anything done. Is if you're gonna wrong somebody, you got to wrong somebody that wronged somebody, because then they know that you wronged them. But if they go after you, they expose how they wrong people, so they'll just let it go. It says victimless crime or whatever the hell it is. It's not. It's not victimless crime. It's a victim. The person losing everything is a victim, getting manipulated, getting used. But they'll protect each other's bullshit the same way. And that's the key is it feels like the world's against you because they're getting the world against you. And each one of them knows that they have this group of friends over here that absolutely will talk to the soccer moms and you won't be able to get another date. You won't be able to get nowhere. You'll be fucked. I mean, like, canceled out. Everyone looking at you like you're disgusting. They know that. So they'll go tell them something bad about you. And then they go over here and they know that they got these guys over here who are whatever the hell. And they're diehard mechanic guys or mechanical guys, and they're like, "Oh, he doesn't even know how to touch a tool. He was throwing tools away." Or they're like, "What? That? What an arrogant bastard!" So they'll hate you for that, and they're just spreading whatever the fuck the people do that is them. That you are the anti-them. That's it. So you go to church and you say, "He's the Antichrist." You go to the drag strip and you're like, "He's all green, fucking wanting to go and drive a leaf or something. I don't know what the fuck that guy's doing." Everywhere you go, you plant toxic shit that gets that gang of people. However, they're ganged up together. Whether it be they're all college kids or they're all the guys from the bar, or they're all workers of somewhere, they're all judges and lawyers, or they're all law enforcement officers drinking at the same club. Same shit. No, we don't have gangs like that in our country, Eric. We live in a country of good members. We live in a country that is dying to gang up. They're like, "Oh, you're like me? Oh, you're like me? You're like me?" And us targets, we don't give a fuck. We never have. We weren't like trying to be like them or be like them. We're like, whatever you're doing, you do you. And that was the threat to them. We're not minions looking for a master. We're leaders. We are not just the fucking deckhands. We're the captains. That's just what we are. And they're taking away our ships. They're getting our crew to cause mutiny. And we're wondering, what the hell, man? Like, I had everything taken care of. We were good. We were set at sea. We knew where we were going. We were all making money. Ship was taken care of. Everyone had their duties, their tasks. Everyone was doing their jobs, transparent about everything. Nobody's screwing anyone over. What's the problem? And that's the problem, is there was something toxic going on amongst your crew, amongst your people, amongst your community, amongst your state, amongst your society in this world. This isn't just U.S. and this is Democrat, Republican, or this isn't just white and black or brown, or this is simply bullshit, covering bullshit to spread hatred to those that don't deserve it so that they can get away with their bullshit. And anybody that would do what's right, not play along, not be like, oh, that's what you do. Oh, that's how I get a double cut? Okay, cool. I'll do that too. You're like, wait a minute. Double cut? What? So that guy's not getting... Hey, dude, they're shooting you out of your shit, man. Everyone else is getting a double cut and you're not getting a double cut. That's fucking... We're that guy. That guy, the one getting the jacked, he's going to like us. He's going to love us. We saved his ass. We stood up for him. We spoke up. And all of us targets at one point were credible and our voice carried. So we could have went to somebody and said whatever was happening, and they would have acted on it. They would have pulled strings for us. They would have made something happen, even if they had to push it a little bit. But always on the side of right. I wasn't doing anything like that to go and figure out where you're going to be so I could stalk you and freak you the fuck out. Intentions behind the actions, if they were ever taken, were good. But they'll guilt you on that too. You better be prepared to be guilted of anything. You better have your conscience pretty damn clean. Or be ready to confess to whatever else there is, because you're going to be broken. They're going to run you through and you're going to be turned your back on by everybody and you're going to search your soul for what the fuck you did wrong to cause that to yourself. Because that's the way you have been all your life. If somebody's getting treated like shit, they deserved it. And if there was an ass kicking needed to be given, you would give it. No problem. Something like that would happen, no problem. I go stand up to him. And that's what gets me. Is like, why are these fucking guys coming up to me like they want to fucking throw down? They want to throw hands over here, but none of them step. No one actually gets in my face. Y'all just get in the car and rev their engine and fucking drive around me in a circle or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck you guys want? Like, what the fuck? Get out of your car. But then I get out of the car. I'm like, what the fuck you want? What the fuck you want? Like the neighbor over here, he goes and then he sues me for accosting him. I'm over there with my hands up, like, what the fuck you want? He's like, yeah, he was attacking me. Yeah, narco fuckheads, man. Well, that's really what it is. The cataclysmic events inside of your life that are happening are simply that the world is full of shit. And the resources you have to help you combat bullshit are bullshit. And they take advantage of people. They traffic people, like human right or human services and all that stuff. They're playing a game for the people that have the money. Ultimately, that's what happens is you're doing good. You're a good person. You have a good job. Have a good lifestyle. You enjoy your life. And they don't think you deserve that because you're not going along with their dumbfuckery. So what they will aim to do is to discredit you, to take away your voice, ideally to get you to look crazy so that they can get you put on drugs. Ideally, drugs that will label you as somebody that has psychosis or some shit so that nobody will ever listen to you. And if you go and you tell them something like I'm saying now, they'll say, oh, they just changed his medication, so you give him a week. His doctor said he'd be a little out there, so the things he's going to say are a little stretch. When the reality is they're not stretch at all. Fact check me, please. I implore you to do your own research, do a public record, look it up in your own community. I'm only noticing what's going on to me inside of my environment, inside of this little city with the people around me. I'm basing this upon years of going through it personally before I even knew there were other targets out there, other people suffering through what is basically collective narcissistic abuse by multiple gangs, all with the same directive, all with the same protocol, all with the same execution of the same trap that we've all experienced. I just find our tolerance levels are done. And then when one tried to pull the bullshit on us, they normally did to get that extra one, we're like, hey, no, that's not going to fly no more. I know what you're doing there. You can't do it anymore. And they're like, oh, well, they can't let anybody else know. So then they're going to start talking shit about you. And then it goes to the next one. And you call them out on their shit because your tolerance is nothing. And they go in there like talking about Jim. You're like, I heard you talking shit to him. That's not who I am. You're talking about me out of character, whatever. You call them out on exactly what their game was. They will work against you. And they'll go and do the same thing. If they know that somebody else does the same shit, then they'll go and talk to them. Oh, you hear Eric? He thinks he's all smart. He thinks he's all smart. He can call me out of my shit. Blah, blah, blah. And they'll start talking shit again. And it starts like a catastrophic event of smear campaigns. It goes through every walk of bullshit you can possibly think of because anything that they do, typically, they're going to dump on you along the way. It's like you're getting passed on the collection plate at church and everyone's throwing in there, but instead of throwing money in there, they're all throwing problems in there, whatever they fucking do, and they're all the rest of it. And then they're all adding that to what's on your consciousness. So you don't even know what the fuck. You're being buried by all kinds of hatred and shit, and you don't even know what the fuck you're being buried for. You're like, what the fuck? I didn't know. What the fuck are you looking at me like? What the fuck I do here? And nobody's answering for it. Nobody's calling you out on your shit. And if you call out one of them, it's pointless. Because they can back out and say, no, you were just crazy. And they're right, because actually that same day, you actually had 7 other groups stalking you too. You thought they were switching out. And the reality is they were all there all the time. You were just noticing them 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. But they were all there the whole time. Like all 10, 20 of them in some cases. Some of them that live in the bigger cities, I feel for you because you guys got eyes on you. The all-seeing eye all the time. And that's what they try and accomplish, usually by your phones and data and technology and everything else they can get by you. Collectively, there's a group of narcissistic assholes that is having fun toying with society, playing with us like Hunger Games. They're selling fun times to us, probably on the dark web, most likely. I know a lot of us targets have things that link us towards that area where we've witnessed something like that happening, or we've witnessed that one hotel that always has like weird business guys that come in and out, look like perverts and shit. You know, like we all have that one thing that just like stands out to us where we hear another target say it, and we're like, oh, you too? Like they did that to you too? Like holy shit! Like wow. And even though they're completely different narcos, completely different places, completely different organizations, completely different lines, they're still doing the same thing to cover it up. This is script. And when they hear you call out that script, it doesn't matter if they've wronged you or not, they're going to talk to you like you're crazy. Because if they agree with you and they say, you're right, they're playing a game and that's how they're getting you, then they give themselves up. And the one thing a narco won't ever do is be accountable. So it's a trap. There's no answer to it. We're running around in circles making ourselves look crazy when we're not crazy. We're not crazy at all. We are getting talked shit about. We are getting slandered. We are having everything ruined for us. And they are all in on it. But none of them talk to each other. None of them will even mention that they know that the other one got called out on their shit. They just won't ever speak of it again. That's what narcissists do. They'll never bring it up. They don't want to have a conversation about it. They don't even want to talk about how they did it to pass it on to them. They don't even want to dump on them and speak it, because if they speak the word, it can come back to them. They won't even say the word. Like if they rob somebody, they won't talk about any robberies. They won't talk about robbing anything. In fact, they're going to just start being super generous and giving to people. That's what they'll do. That's what they will do. And they'll be like, oh, robbery? No, he just came and donated a bunch of clothes to me. Or he just gave me, he was cooking for all the homeless guys down the street, made a bunch of burritos, handing them out. He wouldn't rob me. Watch out. Yeah, they would. They're just looking for praise. So they're just getting praise. Everyone's like, you're so wonderful for the burritos. You're so wonderful for the burritos. But they're taking them from somebody. Somebody's like, where'd all my groceries go? They didn't go and like work their ass off for that money and go and buy all that stuff to be handing it out. No, they got it from somebody. They took it from someone. They conned it, manipulated it. You come home and you're like, oh, I'm dying for a sandwich for lunch. And you open your fridge and there ain't shit there. And you come out and you're like, what the hell did you do? Why did you take out my food? And everyone's like, why are you so mean to her? Why are you so mean? Why you? Hey, that's a sandwich lady. Why are you mean to the sandwich lady? It's a nightmare living it. I'm living it now. My attorney won't present valid evidence to the court because she won't say sorry. She won't say, you were right, Eric. I'm sorry for telling you weren't for 15 months I've been representing you. This valid contract that you're presenting me now, we definitely need to get this to the court and get things in motion for you. Instead of saying, yeah, that's not going to work. That's not valid. It's not valid. How? It's the most recent signed notarized contract. How is it not valid? How does it not supersede the one from 3 months prior? And how, when it has the same start date as the one 3 months prior, is it not a correction, but it's a separate offer that was never accepted? No, it was a correction that was made 3 months later that was backdated. No bank ever says, you know what? We're going to lower your interest rate. You've already been paying on that new agreement we had for 3 months. Let's go ahead and we'll just backdate it. We'll save you all that money too. No bank ever is going to say that shit. You're right. The fact that they drafted that correctional document tells me that the one that they have enforced is an error. Because they would never 3 months later offer to drop your interest rate unless it was already supposed to be dropped. I wasn't behind on payments at the time. I'd made the fucking $1,100 payment I was required to, even though that wasn't what I agreed to. It was supposed to go down. No bank's going to say, I know you've been paying the $1,100, but we messed up. But I won't have my parents make a call to my sister's ex-father-in-law, who works as a district attorney in another district, who has knowledge of the law, who might be able to help me or give me somebody to talk to, even if he doesn't give me legal advice or can't represent me, or he should represent me. Family. Still family. But they won't talk to him. So if I go to him and I'm like, hey, blah, 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 which I will, because there's a lot of questions and a lot of things that don't make sense, and they were a lot of narco dumbfuckeries in the middle that took me forever to unravel and figure actually out kind of what's going on. I'm pretty damn sure I'm like 99% on it. I'm not talking bullshit trying to point the finger. So I know trying to explain that to somebody, and collectively after you hear the 1,000 million things I got to say, you'll be like, there's no way otherwise. Of course that's what's happening to you. Who would think otherwise? Duh. But when you hear one of them, it's no way, impossible. You're another one, it's no way, impossible. They wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be doing that. How they wouldn't? Because you called one of them out on the same bullshit as the other one. And they won't denounce the other one either. They won't say, oh yeah, she's doing that to you, because they do it to you too. That's why it feels like the whole world's against you. When you call one out and you're explaining it to another one, you're saying, that's fucked up what they did. They're like, well, have you ever just thought that maybe they were busy that day? And you're like, what? Busy that day? They committed to me. They told me they would be there. They're busy that day. What are you talking about? It was very important. Why are you taking their side? They do it too. And they can't tell you it's fucked up with that person, that that's crazy that they left you hanging like that, because they're probably going to leave you hanging like that next week, and they don't want you to think bad of them. So they got to make it so you think good of that person so that when they do it to you, you won't be hurt as bad. And then they can actually come back and use you again a little bit sooner. All of us targets are good people. We're all generous people. We're all wanting to make people's lives better, and we're all willing to sacrifice in order for the greater good to accomplish something, even that they don't understand. And we sacrifice our own sanity trying to point this out to people that are never going to see it. That is the anomaly. That's the phenomenon. That's how we all end up getting put on drugs just to tolerate it and be able to be lethargic to the abuse while we don't pay attention and they go in the background fucking with more people. The challenge now is for enough of us to understand this, wake the fuck up, rally the troops, stand up for ourselves, speak the truth. It's really it. Follow God's law. That's all it is. We weren't picked because we were like holy rollers and shit like that. No. We were picked because we're good people. We don't harm other people. We're not hurting other people. We don't want to infringe on other people. You do you, and I do me. I'm not going to tell you what you put in your body should put you in prison, and you shouldn't be telling me the same thing. Especially when you're telling that dude who's passing out poison that he's just got to get watched for a year while I got to go and live in a cell. Like, wait a minute, this is injustice here. This is our country losing itself to a bunch of corrupt motherfuckers, and they're all collectively playing the same game against you. You're never going to find which one it is, and because it's all of them. Now, you call one out, they just completely dissolve and act like you're completely nuts. And you'll think you're nuts because the other 17 of them that are on your ass right then at that time continue. So you'll be like, oh, maybe it wasn't. That's weird. It wasn't. I guess it wasn't them. I'm over here now. Now it's these guys. Now it's these guys. They're just dropping out over there. They're just putting out their flags so you'll recognize them. Over here, over here. And then the other one comes, no, over here, over here. Right about the time you're about to go, wham, cut off the head. And you're like, got it. I got it. This one's for sure. This one's for sure. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're like, huh? 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 Because you'll go after someone that you know is fucking you. But when you have doubt in your head, you'll stop. You'll think about it reasonably. You'll think about it logically. And they'll plant some dumb fuckery in your head that's going to have you chasing your tail for a little while. You're never going to find a rabbit at the end of that hole. There's no rabbit. There's no rabbit. You are just being played. And they recognize that you can call them out. And it's funny to watch you squirm. Really, that's what it comes down to. They would all rather hurt you than risk you spreading how to be a good person, how to follow God's law, and how to just be transparent about your life and not try and harm other people and shit like that. And that actually taking over society and then being looked at like pieces of shit again. Right now, they're all praised. They're getting the promotions. They're getting the extra jobs. They're getting the, $10,000 hiring bonuses for 47 days of quick training on how to kill Americans. Trump did a lot of good things, and he's done a lot of stupid things. It's like our country's so... Nobody knows what the fuck's going on enough to stop it, and everyone's participating politic-wise. There's no good way to go. Democrats were the same thing. Different honeypots, but the same bullshit and the same cover-ups. You would just be going after different people targeting you because you can call out their bullshit, but we'd still be targets too. Don't be thinking, oh, if Biden would have won and this wouldn't have happened, this is a Trump thing. It's not. It's worldwide. It has nothing to do with politics. The moves he's making are to better secure this country and watch out, but they're also to take it. A lot of us were deceived and where it went and what it is now. But because we speak the truth, that's why these little fuckheads are going after us. People flying American flags, you stand for that American flag and you want one nation under God, indivisible, then you need to stop hating on people of God. And you need to stop condemning people and doing demonic things to people who are acting of God. We're not hurting anybody. No targets out there really hurting anyone. If we're committing crimes, it's against ourselves. Or it's violating some statute or something. We're not bad people. None of us are. So, well, you need to go and just get on drugs. Dr. Cracknut's drugs, they mess with your head permanently. You'll never come back from that. You'll be labeled for the rest of your life. And then you're really a druggie who has no voice. Right now, you still have a voice, whether you're using a drug or not using a drug to get you through whatever you're getting through. If it's improving your quality of life and you're seeking it, well, man, I'm proud of you. If you're doing it because someone is forcing it into your mouth and telling you you need to shut off that portion of who you are and you're not trying to discover shit, but they're trying to shut you off, that's demonic. That's what needs to stop. And in my city, we just gave that authority to our police officers. That's right. After they take away your Second Amendment right by saying you have some red flags, they're acting suspicious, I'm going to take your guns, then you can get mad about it. And they say, now you're acting mad, and we're going to send you to the mental health professional. And the mental health professional will say, we just got him on some pills to dope him up and fix him. And then they can say, well, you're never getting your guns back, buddy, because you're now a mental case. They're doing it all over this country, robbing people of their rights, their ability to feed back, their ability to stand up for the Constitution. And we're 4 states away, I believe it is. That's all they need, to have everybody in line to ratify the Constitution right now. It's happening in front of everybody's eyes. Nobody's paying attention. And those of us that see it, that are talking about that atrocity, they want you to ignore that atrocity because they do the same shit. Calling them out calls everybody out. That's the nightmare that every target experiences, is that you're dealing with a gang of bullshitters that are also part of another gang of bullshitters. They're also part with another gang of bullshitters. They have an aunt that's affiliated with these bullshitters. They have the mitotes over here. They have the payasos over there. They got everybody running a circus show. And they are all being fed shit about you. Because any one of them, you can call them out. You know how they do their shit. You know how they deceive people. You know what they take money on the back end. You know how they're covering the books. You know, whatever the fucking demonic shit they do, the evil shit they do. You know it, but you don't do it. You don't learn how to deceive people and then deceive people. You're so honest. You're so straight up. Like, what the fuck? So you're a threat to them. Basically, we're all targeted because we're good people, and we're targeted by every piece of shit out there because they know we're good people. And even though we know that they're full of shit, we know what they're doing, that doesn't bend us, and that's their goal. Ultimately, call it whatever you want, talking shit about you, ruining your life, taking away your career, blah, blah, blah. No, that doesn't matter. Their goal is to get you to have to ask them for their permission to let you do what you said you would never fucking do. They want to push you to the edge of your breaking point where you said you would never tolerate that over your dead body, and they're going to test you. Stand your ground. That's all I can say. I ain't going out like that. Fuck that shit. I ain't going to be that punk who's getting hated by everybody, who's done all kinds of horrible shit when I didn't do the horrible shit. They're making you hated like the person that you would denounce, like the person you didn't want in your community. That's what they're making you look like to your community. So that they're looking at you the way you would have looked at somebody who was a piece of shit. And then this group of people is looking at you like that. So they go to the Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They talk about your alcohol abuse. Even though you don't drink, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you drink because they're never going to confront you. They hate that so much that they won't go and tell you, you're an alcoholic, you're drinking too much, or you're putting us in danger from your drinking. Because then you would be like, I don't even drink, what the fuck? And it would be shut down. But they don't need you to actually drink. And they just need them to be mad enough never to confront you. And that's what you're being told about every group and what they would do. That's it. That's all it is. So when you're hated by these people and they're looking at you like you need to die, it's because what they told them about you is what they can't stand about people. So when they see you, they see everything that they hate, that they can't stand, and they did the same shit to you. And every time you tell them, that's disgusting, don't do that, that's gross, we don't do that, that's not the way we behave, that's not godly, that's not doing something right, you're screwing that person, you're hurting that person, that's not what we do. They made sure that they spread the word that that's what you were doing to people. But you were ungodly. You weren't right, man. The things you were doing to people weren't right. They're just testing you, and everything that you hate, they're dumping on you. They're just reversing everything. It's demonic no matter what religion you believe in. All the religions of the world are all messages of God. They're all men who were delivering a message of God that he knew of how we needed to live, how we needed to survive as human beings, what we deserved as rights, what we deserved as freedoms. Even though in this country, what was a man was defined differently. The idea that the original Constitution was written on is still the same. And now we fought to make the equality the same, and we're taking it away from ourselves by hating on people that will tell the truth, really. People are hating on people that will speak up. People that won't go along with the dumbfuckery. Those are the ones looked at bad. Because if you go along with the dumbfuckery, then you're rewarded. And that's being taught to our kids. The kids are teaching to be baddies, to deceive, to manipulate, to have all these men buying you your shit so you can live and be good. And that's not the way it needs to be. That's what we're idealizing inside of our own mainstream media, and nobody's calling it out. And if you're witnessing it and you are calling it out, then likely you're another target. And likely you're being targeted by a bunch of different people that have to lose if the truth comes out. And you can spot it out. You are a danger because your presence in their presence is risky business because every word that they say might be something you catch. And I used to tell this to the people that were in my life when they were lying to me. I'm like, you guys can't lie to me like that. If you don't start lying to me now, just tell me what it is. If I catch you and I say, hey, you're lying to me, then just tell me. Oh, I'm sorry. You called me. Like, my bad. I was trying to bullshit you. I just wanted an extra hour. I needed some extra time. That didn't really happen because I'll catch it. It might not be right then. But I'll notice there was something a little off about what you said. I'll notice that was weird. Like, that really doesn't make sense. It wasn't something normally that would happen that way or something. And I'll pay attention to it. And then the next time I'll wait to see if that's what happens. And if I see the same results, you bet your ass, it won't take long before eventually it will take long. It will take long, but eventually I'll catch on. If I only see you once a year, it might take me 10 years to catch it, but I'll catch it. Now that I've gone through all this fucking nightmare and they've all come at me and all the rest of it and figuring out all the... Now I can catch it like, boom. Like, and the scary thing is I'm having a harder and harder time finding people that are on my side. Harder and harder to find people that are like, you know what, that's right. They should just stand up for what's right. Who gives a fuck? You know, if I did any dirt, if I did any trouble or anything like that, I'll gladly, other than a cop who's going to throw me in jail for it, I have no problem speaking what I did. I have no problem owning my business or whatever. If I made some wrongs, I did some wrongs, that's fine. I recognize I'm not a perfect person. I fuck up. But if I fuck up, I'm going to understand how I fucked up, understand how it would affect another person, how I wouldn't want that to happen to me, and I'm going to make sure I make a commitment not to happen again. That's it. Simple shit that these people won't do. They won't even acknowledge it, and that's how I caught on. I'm like, but why won't you acknowledge it? I mean, you do the same thing. You should spot it. You do it. That's it. They did spot it because they do it. And that's why they're not standing against it. In fact, that's why they're making excuses for the person that's doing that to you. Because then at least you might not be so mad at them once you find out that they had the other trigger. Oops. Demons. It's evil. Like, to be someone in your family or someone in your life and you see them winning and you want to make them lose so you feel better about yourself. It's like, it's not what we're about. Me, as soon as I learn something, I want to go back home and teach everybody so that they all know and can better protect themselves, and we have that much more knowledge amongst the family. If somebody else sees it, they can bring it up and recognize it. We're more together than we are apart, right? Until you find out that that is the case, but they're all together because they're all the same way. My sister is wired just like the prodigy. She won't say sorry for shit, won't apologize for anything, and she comes to justification of whatever nonsense and fuckery it is justify the betrayals that they have. It's like, well, I was betraying you and leave you hanging while you were attacked, but you told me fuck you. Like, yeah, that's what it was. I said fuck you. That's okay. Well, next time I'm in a crisis emergency, I'll make sure to watch my language when I'm begging for you to pay attention. And what the fuck? But they'll come up with that logic, and that will justify it. They just need one little infraction, one little thing that you did that they'll just blow up. And typically, it's whatever you came up with. They don't even have anything. You didn't do anything. They don't even know. But then they'll just pull away from you completely and wait for you to apologize for whatever you apologize for, and then they'll use that. That's all they do. It's a trap. I was raised by narcissists, so I know the trap. I've had to deal with that. I've had to learn how to tolerate it and all the rest of it. What happened that got me gang stalked was I stopped tolerating it. I stopped putting up with it. I started calling them out, and I was right. And I started finishing their sentences, and I was right. And then that pissed one of them off. So I electively got them with a gang of them to start. And then that gang talks to another gang, and then they start. And then that gang talks to another gang. And before you know it, you're hated on for every horrible thing that's done all around you. And you didn't do shit. There's no way out, because if you beg people to believe you, they're going to kind of believe you because they were doing it. Like, they were harassing you, but they weren't doing it that much. So it's like that wouldn't really fuck your mind. But they don't even realize that they're doing it, so are they. So when you're thinking, they're switching out. First it was all these cars, then it was all these cars. It was all veterans, then it was... That's two totally independent groups that you just happened to identify that were always there. They were both stalking you the whole time. You just didn't see the other one because you were focused on one. Your attention was on one or two, so the other ones kind of fade into the background, but they're still there. When you're being stalked, you're being watched because you're a threat to dumbfuckery. You're a threat to nonsense. You're a threat to bullshit. And you will stand up for what's right. So while they're coming up with all their crap that they're doing all around you, if you witness it, you're going to speak about it. So they don't want you seeing anything. They want you isolated in your home, shut up, worried, paranoid, looking like a crazy man. Because then no one takes you seriously. No one takes the threat seriously. They get away with their dumb fuckery. And the worst case, someone at the end says, hey, didn't that guy say something about that? And like, yeah, we should probably listen to him. But it's dismissed. You're in the mental institution, in the jail cell, or dead. Killed yourself, you know? A person can only take so much rejection. That's what makes us chosen, is that we're able to endure and go without. Like, they cost it to me, they took it from me. Possessions, whatever the hell it was. Friends, you take it from me. They're stupid. They weren't good friends anyway. But then when they're all collectively taken from you and you have nobody and everything is getting taken from you and you have nothing, it's like you really start to see people at their core. Because I have things to offer. I can sell things, whatever, but no one buy them from me. Can't make it sell nothing. Bought a bunch of things like good prices to sell, like a swap meet or something like that. No one buys anything from me. Make a couple bucks by the couple people that walk by that don't know anything, and then they get told when they get to the end of the aisle how bad of a person I am, so they never come back. You know, they put you out of business. They put you out of every aspect of your life to where you're fighting like you're a bad guy, and you're trying to get people to believe you that you're not the bad guy because you keep getting treated like you're the bad guy, and it only makes you look like the bad guy. Makes you look like somebody trying to cover up a bunch, because last time you were saying about that, you were talking about this over here you didn't do, and that over there you didn't do, and this over here you didn't do, so you're not doing nothing, huh? It's a trap. It's a trap. And once they catch on and they all start knowing that one's doing something and this one's doing something, well, you won't know it's us. So if we just shut up about it, you'll go after those guys that it's doing it to you too. And they're all doing it to you, and that's exactly what will happen. So they never get caught. It's not that you don't catch them. You catch them. You call them out. They are fucking with you, and they are doing that shit. But then they stop, and everybody else continues. So you're like, wait, it creates doubt in your head. So you'll lay off. You won't go after them. You'll actually convince yourself that it wasn't them and that you were crazy. It was. They just know that they're doing it to you, and so are a bunch of other people doing it to you. And they all know that they're doing it to you because you called one of them out on their shit. And they probably know who the one is you called out. And they're like, oh, yeah, he called her out on this shit. And, man, she was all embarrassed. But they know that. But they will still do the same fucking thing because they think that they're that much smarter. You didn't notice that they were playing that manipulation game. You thought it was only her, so they'll try and join on board. They'll try and same thing. It's all a game throughout life, and the difference is we were pushed too far and our tolerance popped. That's it. And once your tolerance pops and they know you are going to call them out, now they're not going to get that extra one out of you. They know they're not. They're not even going to dare to bring it up because you're going to catch on the moment you start seeing the angle that they're playing. So they're not going to say it with you. So you're now a toxic person. You're not somebody that can be manipulated and used. You're not a cool guy. And that's the way you are with these people. Either you're a tyrant, you're a bully, you're an asshole that takes everything, or you're just a pussy that everyone can take some from. They'll never see you with respect. They'll never be loyal to you. They'll never treat you as a man. And once they tear you down, the man that you are, the woman that you are, the same thing. Women get taken advantage of the same exact way by the same exact shithead guys. Same exact thing. They're doing the same fucking thing. You're over there working career woman. You got your house. You got your car. You got it taken care of. And then that asshole comes in, don't do nothing, just drags you down. Same thing. And what they're trying to do is turn you into one of them. Same way as they're doing the men. Same thing. You're so lost in the chaos that you actually aren't able to focus on keeping your job, on keeping your bills paid. You're trying to prove that you're not a bad person. You're trying to prove that you're not deserving to getting abandoned and treated like shit. You don't understand why this is happening to you, that you can't focus on stopping caring what anyone gives a fuck. Take care of your shit, and that's what will actually bail you out. You won't focus on it. You'll be looking for explanation, and no one will give you one. You'll be wondering why this person is telling you something's up, but they won't tell you what is up, or they're leading on like, hey, yeah, you're being played, but they won't say you're being played. And I'd say with almost a surety now that that's because they play you the same way. You tolerate it with them, so they think they get away with it. So they won't ever call anybody else out on it. So if you know someone does something and you tolerated it, don't go to them with the information or evidence that someone else did it to you, because they won't even look at it. They won't denounce it. They won't even pay attention to it. So if you know this is how they always get a ride from me, and then you're like, he was trying to get a ride from me today. Don't do that. You're just going to give yourself up. You're just going to give them a way that they know you know. And that's all that it is. We see them like they see us. We genuinely want to help them. Honestly, it sucks the way they're living. I have to come up with that kind of bullshit. It's like, why not just tell the truth? And I used to tell her this. They're literally, Why are you working so hard to put your head in the sand or hide from it? Why don't you just confront it and get it done? Like, it's not that big. And then she turned me into that. Where now it's like any big decision. That happened because everything I was so sure of. I'm like, there's no way. I got this. I got this. There's no way. I got the evidence. I got the contract. I got this. And I go to the lawyer and they're like, sorry, I'm not going to present it to the judge. I'm like, what the fuck? Why not? Like, this is the golden ticket. This is what I'm telling you. Look, this proves I wasn't crazy the whole time. And they're like, it's not what you think it is. It's not what I think it is. Like, shit, I'm the one that was involved in the agreement. I'm the one that went and got it notarized. I'm the one that turned the fucker in. You guys weren't present for any of it. And you're going to tell me what the conversations were taking place at that time. But they have to. If they start going after whoever the fuck they know was fucking with you, then they're going to call themselves out. And people are just such pieces of shit and such cowards. They're not honorable men. Like, if that guy's playing you or whatever the fuck, I got no problem with it because I'm not playing you. I don't have no problem with it. I don't have to fool myself or make something up. I'm not going to lie to you or deceive you. That's the way human beings should be. I've always had good people in my life, but slowly the good people in my life married off and started families of their own, and I never met the person that was mine. And it got cesspool worse, until you're that single guy, never really have that much family, or single girl, never married, never kids, not too many people to care about you. And if they start fucking with your head and playing with you, playing games like this, and you're chasing your tail, people will dismiss you more as just that's too bad than actually say, like, I don't know what's going on. Something's up. Like, we need to figure this out. Someone's messing with him. Someone's messing with him. You don't have any of that. And those people that you did have that were that, they slowly were eroded away by lies and bullshit. They targeted you for a long time, and you didn't even know you were being targeted. And they targeted you by not telling you who's targeting you or letting you identify who's targeting you. So Masons, yeah, they do it. They sure do. But it's the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. I mean, it goes all the way down to neighborhood watch groups, to your firefighters, to your EMTs, to all of it. And all of it is just people that will talk about other people or spread information about other people without confirmation and without witnessing it. They're mitotes. They're gossipers. They're bullshitters. They're liars. They're trying to get people against you based on nonsense and bullshit. And they're growing in numbers. They're joining all these different organizations that are designed to protect against them. And they are becoming part of those organizations so they can manipulate that system to use it in their benefit. These are people that understand systems in the way that they work. They understand programs in the way that they work. And they understand how to dissect them and use them as weapons against people, like children, youth and services, how to use that to take your kids away or have you, in a divorce case, they'll make you look nuts. These people are obviously there. They're obviously narco fucks. They're obviously doing what is hovering. And to think that if you call multiple out on you for doing the same thing to you, and it's impossible that they would ever collectively join together as a gang and stalk you to prevent you from success. In fact, you saying that means you need to get on drugs so that your brain shuts off and you stop paying attention to too much. Because you saw that. You saw through that bullshit. You saw through all those shit shows. And you actually know what's going on. So you need to take some drugs so that you don't know what's going on no more. And that's how society's going to fix you. If you're seeking a drug because what you do, I don't care, illegal or legal, and you know it's going to help you and it's going to benefit your quality of life, you're not violating God's law. You're seeking something to improve your quality of life because you want to feel better. Same as them. They want to lose 7 pounds by summertime to fit in that bikini, and they're like 110 pounds, so they're going to shoot up some Ozempic. To me, that's against God's law. You're telling your body you're not hungry when your body's hungry because your body needs to eat to be. That's an atrocity. Giving pedos and criminals boner pills that they could just pop a pill and bam, there you go. They don't even need to have that twisted like that. That's insanity to me. It's like if your dick stops working, you should stop fucking. It's about Mother Nature. I'm just saying. And I've been led all over the place with that one too. They try and make you everything you say or not. They try and infect your life and they make you blame yourself or think things like, like that shit. I thought I was impotent. It's like, I wasn't impotent. It's just, I couldn't get with somebody who was stabbing me in the back and I didn't feel attraction to them. It's like, I just realized you fucked me over. I just realized you devastated. Now you're saying like, there's a problem with me because I don't want to sleep with you. Because I don't want to get you off and have you all, why should you be rewarded for stabbing me in the back is my opinion on that one. But they twisted it in their head and start blaming me for shit too. I'm like, what the fuck? It's all a game. All a game to destroy everything you are as a person, everything you are as a man, all your integrity, and they want you to eat your words by, in the end, ending up exactly where you told them you would never be. And even better, if you got to thank them for allowing you to be there. Ultimately, that's the goal of the whole shit show organization, is to get you shut up and killed. Or to force you to do what you said you never wanted to. Those people are most likely narcissistic victims. Just repeating a cycle of abuse. They won't be the victim anymore. Now they have to be the perpetrator. So they know now they have to be the liar. They have to be the manipulator, or they're going to be the prey. It's just a cycle of abuse is all that's happening. Over and over and over and over. And the people that get abused are typically the biggest perpetrators. We're chosen because we don't repeat cycles. We were our own people. We believe everybody's their own person. And nobody should be violated like that. Nobody should be abused like that. Nobody should be made to feel like something that they're not. And we felt justice in bringing people to feel the way that they should feel by speaking the truth. And that makes you enemy number one to the world. Unfortunately, now we're not around a bunch of people following God's laws. We're not around a bunch of good people that are looking out for their communities or their neighbors. Every man for himself right now. And they'll turn on you just as quick, especially if their freedom's at risk. Like nobody says, no, you can't do that to him. I don't give a fuck. You can lock me up. You're not doing that to us. We're a population. We're people. We'll stand for our community. And so they're like, oh, what? Oh, he's doing, well, that's too bad. That's too bad. I guess I'll just look the other way while that guy goes nuts. Like, they start talking shit about you because you're going nuts. It's like, You're talking to yourself because you need to bring logic to dumbfuckery. You need to say it so you can hear how stupid it is, so that even you can be like, I'm not falling for that. Because otherwise you'll convince yourself of it. You need an explanation, and there's none. You need to know why they abandoned you, why they leave you hanging, why they didn't show up. Did I do something wrong? What did I do wrong? And you'll find whatever the fuck it is. So it's a spiritual battle. You do need to be good with God, or with however you get there. So not knocking the people that say that they found a way out of being gangstalked by finding Jesus Christ. What I'm telling you is that you are another narcissistic victim that found a way to tolerate the pain and block it out. And that belief that Jesus is keeping you safe is your little safety zone where you disappear to. And that's good for you. That's how you learn to protect yourself. And you need to protect yourself that way. I'm not saying don't. If somebody's attacking your soul and they're attacking your consciousness and they are invading you and they're violating your being, and you needed to escape by finding Jesus or finding whatever God lets you to peace in those moments of hatred and disgusting things, then that's what it needed to be for you, to find your way through God. And you are. Jesus is the man of God. Absolutely. He's spreading God's message, and following Jesus' message is good. Following Allah's message or Buddha's message or any of these men that were speaking of God are all good. Stop hating other people because they're following a good message. It makes no sense. Especially when people were in such different conditions around such different people, when different stories that would be told. How can we not understand that? If like you're getting told the same story from the ghetto as you are from the heights, same scenario, you watch Channel 7 or watch Channel 4, watch the same news thing, and it's completely spun a different way. Perception. How you look at things. How you see the people. How you see the world. And they see everybody as prey. Except for the predators, they get away with all the stuff they get away with, and they're not going to be a prey. They don't see mankind as every independent person. They see it as every man for himself. They don't see it as your energy is going to transfer the same way as we transfer heat energy out of our homes to cool off. That's what we're doing. We're removing the heat from the room. People don't understand concepts of this. But when you use it in everyday practices, that's what's happening, is we're forgetting what we do and why we do it. We're forgetting how we get to the results. We're forgetting the reason that we follow those steps. So the reason that these are things in line, the reason we learn from our ancestors how not to fuck up. We're just going right to the fuck up now. And we're like, who's going to fix this? Well, we usually call that guy who's smart and knows everything, but he went crazy, I guess. He's over there at his house just... Everybody with half a brain is going to end up with nobody that's going to fight for him. Nobody's going to be smart enough to figure it out. Everybody that's been a target that survived this long, if you survived this long or you're seeking help and you're seeking other targets and you were able to live through that nightmare and didn't kill yourself, you've already accomplished something huge. You've already made it, literally. You were able to be pushed to the breaking point where you had no one and nothing, and you chose to still seek justice, to still find what's right, to speak up against what's wrong. Instead of just succumbing to it and killing yourself, you chose not to let them get away with it. That means you made more enemies. It means the gang against you got bigger. But it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. In fact, it means you're doing everything right. And from here out, hang on, Buttercup, because what did they say? Pucker up, Buttercup, because this is about to get real. And it's only going to get worse. People are going to get worse. Situations are going to get worse. Lies, bullshit, manipulation is going to start getting followed more. It's going to be the turn where they're trying to do New World Order and follow one rule. And I believe the United States might actually be the tyrant in that one. We might actually be fighting terrorists by becoming the terrorists. It only happens every time. This is why like Silk Road was so great about drugs. Is it took out the violence and everything because we keep something from ourselves. You ever think about that? What's so bad about meth and cocaine? Well, bad people use it to make money because they're in bad situations and they can charge a lot of money for that from people that want to hide it from the rest of society. Otherwise, they'll lose their careers. So they're willing to spend the money to those people that are willing to risk their freedom to bring them the thing that they demand. They'll pay the cartels to do it, and they'll use that money to bring in illegal fentanyl and kill us in our streets, but that's okay because they also bring you the drug that you need to persevere things, to get through things, the one that you do that nobody else knows about, the one that kills 5,000 people a year. I mean, the only drug in their system at the time of death. I mean, 5,350 million. And those were 5,000 people in my mind that were already dying. They just wanted to line so that they can deal with the pain and say goodbye to their family or something. You know, that's not people that were all messed up on drugs. Where people die on drugs is when you stop them from coming into the country and they still have the demand, but now only half the supply. So they cut it with a bunch of crap that kills people. That's where you get it. When pure drugs come into the country and they're going around, everyone's happy. People getting high are happy. People aren't dying. The hospitals are doing great. When the U.S. does a big old seizure and busts a bunch of shit and pull it out, then the criminals have to put toxic shit into it to stretch it because we're still demanding the same amount and they don't have it no more. So they're going to make it the same amount. And they're going to stretch it, put poison out there, and people are going to be tossing around like flies, and that's what they're doing right now. They're doing a purge. And that's what they're allowing all this to go on. That's why all this is allowed but not allowed, why cops are pulling penalties on some people, but the other ones are not. Why they're allowing fentanyl and all that shit to go down is they figure, well, they're the good guys, you're the bad guys. Anyone involved in that shit's the bad guys. And mark my words, that's going to be weaponized here shortly, and a lot of people are going to start dropping. And people aren't going to understand why. It's going to be pandemic, it's going to be whatever, and it's just going to be the cartel in the background. They control everything. And we are giving them that control by allowing them to control us by restricting our access to something that we demand and then forcing our adversaries to bring it to us at a premium so that we can get caught with it and put ourselves in prison. That's what we're doing. That's a war on drugs right there. So who are we fighting? I don't know. Well, I don't know who we're fighting. I mean, who are we fighting? We're demanding it. We're demanding it enough that there's a high enough price on it to bring it over here that much. The people are killing each other over it. Just like we learned with marijuana, which was banned at the same time by the same Dr. Cracknuts, because of the same reasons. It was the gateway. Now we realize, damn, that was medicine the whole time. We could have been saving seizures and stopping cerebral palsy, all kinds of fucking shit, if we would have just listened to the people instead of Dr. Cracknuts. But he's still right about the other two, because we still need to listen to him and need to be taking opiates and be lethargic instead of waking up and getting through the pain and fighting. You know, you're doing that to get through your third job, or you're doing that because you don't have enough time in the day and you're trying to make it and be one of the people that can be privileged to life, then you're a bad guy and they'll take that life away. They'll leverage it. Temptation to keep the market up. That's all it is. The whole fucking shit show run by cops and criminals. Same thing. They all need it. The cops need it to justify their jobs. The criminals need it to bring them money. And they're willing to sacrifice whoever to keep that shit show going because it's so lucrative. Because the rest of the working class of America is struggling so damn much that we need to seek those drugs in order to make it. And then when we do, they put us into the system that's going to bleed us dry because we're not paying into the system enough and we're just enslaved and like a trap. And if you find something that's going to help you like that, the couple of drugs that they refuse to put through clinical testing and even discover what it could be used for beneficially amongst the thousands of any other drug that you come up with. If they came up with it today, it would be on the market next week with a label on it. Problem is, they've already deemed it the enemy, and it's already made them so much money by making people take the alternatives owned by them. It's all 1% and 1%. They're all the ones running the whole shit show from the top all the way to the bottom. Keep you from pharmaceuticals. They can control your life. They control your drugs. Drugs that alter your mind, by the way. They said marijuana was a gateway drug, led you to psychedelics, and methamphetamine is a psychosis drug. No, it's just that's what they put when they put it to Adderall. They had to add an antipsychotic so that they can dismiss you speaking the truth. Most people on Adderall speak the truth. It's just no one listens to them because they're on meds. Most people on Adderall recognize crap that people don't recognize. In fact, people will take Adderall to study up on a test or to cram them for college and shit like that because finally you can make sense of all the blah, 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 and you can bring it to your mind. Put focus on it. That's what meth is. Same shit. But you put it in a Sudafed for your allergies and that's cool. Really? We're that much of a hypocritical society that we can say, well, that substance is fine for that guy when he takes it in a dosage that Dr. Cracknuts, who he doesn't even know, took a guess at. But when he knows what he needs to improve his own quality of life, and he's out of control. They act like we're all just going to be like, oh my God, there's a pile of meth. That only happens when they restrict you from everything. When they tell you can't have it, you can't have it, you can't have it, and then you're like, wow, I can really think straight. And then you overdo it, and yeah, that ends up in not a result of methamphetamine or cocaine. It's a result of sleep deprivation. And it would happen no matter how much. If you're a human being that has to function for that many hours, eventually you're going to crash. Whether it be caffeine, Red Bulls, L-theanine, whatever you happen to be taking, it's whatever's doing it for you. And there should be no other man that can take away your freedom because you're trying to survive. We look at the war on drugs all wrong. Well, they could cause problems for us. No, the problems are caused by your judgment. Most people that are out on the street are down the street because they can't get a job. Because they're on drugs. They're not on drugs. They're any different than anybody else is on drugs. The person that just denied them the job is over there shooting up Ozempic, popping Viagra pills. But they won't hire you because you are working 3 jobs and you couldn't make it through that last shift and only getting 2 hours of sleep without doing a bump. I mean, what kind of man are you? Everyone can sleep 2 hours like that. But meanwhile, they're over there in their fucking feather bed and comfort thing, sleeping for 10 fucking hours, waking up with fans and breakfast in bed and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy because I'm trying to make it, we're trying to do this shit while I'm being oppressed by your system, which is forcing me to keep on paying into that system, or you're going to put me in a little jail cell because I'm a bad guy for trying to make it in this world. It's like, fuck. The war on drugs is on the wrong people. The whole narcissistic bullshit campaign is on the wrong people. We keep looking at things like party lines and all the other bullshit. It's not. Liars and manipulators, bullshitters. So, hope this brings some clarity to people like that. That's why those law enforcement officers are like, we don't do that. There's no agency like that. They do. They participate in that kind of activity. They talk with each other. They do. But they ain't going to tell you. And certainly they're not going to say, we're going to go after those guys for doing that to you because they do it to you. It's going to happen like that every time. And every time it's going to leave you like, what the fuck? These were supposed to be the ones. These were the people that helped me. I just laid it all out on them. And you're going to get tired of repeating the truth and nobody listening. It's going to drive you till you're angry and screaming out the world. Pissed off and everybody's fucking in on it. Everybody's crazy. And the reality is the people that are closest to you probably don't have a clue. They're just watching you get destroyed and they need something to blame. Bet your ass whatever you use to cope with that abuse or to deal with those problems or to get your thoughts straight will be demonized so that they can take that away from you too. What better way to throw a man on his ass and then the thing that gets you alive again, that gets you working again, that gets you productive again, gets taken away from you. You end up tired, hurting, in pain all the time, hating the world, isolated from the world, cursing everybody's name because you're trying to be the good boy and stay away from what you were doing to improve your quality of life. That way people will think good of you. It's dumb. You're constantly chasing approval, and that's why you get narco-trapped. That's exactly what gangstalking is. You're seeking approval from people you're never going to approve. They're never going to approve. No, whatever you do, it's not going to be good enough. Never. Because if it is good enough, then they're not good enough. They always got to be better than you. That mentality is what we're fighting. And we're fighting it on a much broader level than anyone of these targeted groups actually talks about or even recognizes. So no, yeah, you're getting fucked with. Absolutely. And the reason it's so hard to put your finger at them is because there's a bunch of little shitheads. Part of different groups. You got these little punk ass kids that like fucking with old people and don't give a fuck. Then you got these retired vets that are looking out for their community and keeping drugs out. And then you got these little mitotes that are watching out for the pervos and the creeps. So they don't want to, every little bit that you can get, any angle the society plays where they gang up on somebody, and these people are playing it. The ones that are actually playing it are the ones with the money, the ones with the moves, the handlers, the ones that are the government officials, the ones that are the politicians, the ones that are the sheriffs of your municipalities, because they still believe that they're doing something good. They think, yeah, they're violating your rights, but you're a criminal, so who gives a fuck? You were doing something wrong, you don't have no rights. That's the way law enforcement is actually taking it all around the world, and that's why this is happening without any prejudice otherwise. Like, they're hating on brown people, that's what it is, they're just trying to get them in. Nope. Nope, they're hating on anybody that's real. They're hating on anybody that goes by the books, anybody that's truthful, anybody that would see a problem with the books and then rewrite the book so that there's not a problem instead of just sticking by the books. Like, yeah, that's what the rule, but that rule is stupid. And we have logical conclusions that bring us to the today result that is stupid. Because it worked for you in the past, we now have more information, but they won't take the information. Whatever you're saying is no, that's it. No, I don't care what you are, guy, and they'll shut you off. No innovation, no dream, no tomorrow, no movement, no advancement. Just so that they can be right and do it their way again. They're toxic to a crew because they'll never teach their apprentice anything. If they move on, the apprentice doesn't know shit because the guy didn't teach him anything. He wasn't teaching his replacement. He was threatened by his replacement. And that's what we are. We're good at everything we do. We're resourceful. We typically can learn something because we have to, especially. And we're being studied like lab rats because of it. By another group of individuals who would exhibit narcissistic personality disorder, who, of course, would never be involved with other groups that are doing that too. In fact, they don't even know that exists. Welcome to the phenomenon. Like, follow, subscribe, please.